Today we're going to be talking about lazy loading, how to implement it in Webflow, and some considerations that you might want to think about when implementing it, because it might not be the best choice. Lazy loading is exactly what it says on the tin. It's loading assets only when you need them. So how do we do this? Well, if we click on the cog icon here, you can change different types of different types of load. So if you take a look at my website published and you take a look at the network tag, you'll see that this will show all the assets that are being loaded. I can look at all the assets. I can look at just the JavaScript assets. We're interested in the image one, so let's just use images for instance. So you can see it's loaded up the Webflow banner icon and some text. I don't know what that is. But as we scroll down, what you'll see is it will detect that those images are coming into screen, and it will load those images. Unfortunately, there is a new, actually, I saw it recently when I was reviewing a website that I've built on web.dev, which tests the performance of your website. You can also go into Google Insights as well. The two exactly the same tools essentially. I went and reviewed, I went and did a performance check on one of the websites I was building, and it warned me about something called CLS, and that's Cumulative Layout Shift. When your page loads and there are further assets that load subsequently later down the line, and it shifts the layout of your page, it's actually going to penalize you for that kind of behavior. One of the better ways to do it is the traditional way, and that's using JavaScript. And it's 4 lines of code maximum, and we can go through that line of code now. What I came across was this website, and it has a really simple helper function. Here we have a function called isInViewPort. You can copy this function, and that you can use that anywhere. The way I would probably do this is I would probably use a very low quality, very highly compressed, maybe even blurred version of an image, and I would set the source of that image as that blurred image. That will maintain the width and the height of that image. I would then add what they're suggesting here is a data image attribute. Add a data image attribute, and you know that we can do that through here, data image. And then we can put a link to a higher quality version of the image. If we add the URL to that, and you could do that within our assets, and get this, click on this image here, and then copy the URL there. There's URL. Pop that in the data image attribute. So the JavaScript here is we get that image. If it's going to be multiple, then you use query selector all, but in this case we're just going to use one. It makes it easier. So we get an element with the data image attribute on that element, and when the window scrolls, fire this function and test if the image is in the viewport. Because this is what I would suggest in Webflow, because this is going to be an image, I would replace it with something like the following. Let's update this and go to console. I would probably replace this function with image dot source equals image dot get attribute data image, and that will replace the source, and it will load our fancy nice quality image. This episode was taken from a longer, more in-depth explanation of the subject matter, so if you're interested to learn more, then I'll suggest you click the link up in the card. If you haven't subscribed yet, then please do so, and until next time, happy no coding.